sound off here. Bear with me.
Howdy, 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 folks. How are you doing this evening, this fine Friday evening? AR, why don't you go ahead and read off everyone in the side for us tonight so everybody gets a welcome.
Hey, guys. Hope you're doing good. Let me scroll up here. Hey, Senior Master Bulldog. How you doing, buddy? Andy, 79Z28, Pony, LBJ is in the house. Andre D'Angelo, good to see you. CW, good to see you. James Pollard, Hobby's Hobo, good to see you, brother. Michael Hurtnick, he's becoming a regular here.
Yeah.
James, see who else? Tony, Jerry Parker, good to see you. Appreciate you dropping by. And Mac Man is here.
Oh, hey, Mac.
And I'll ask you, did you get a deer here in a little bit? So Echo can continue here. Yeah, welcome you all. I've been looking forward to the stream. Sitting around being lazy today, so it's good to join you all. So, what you got going on, Echo, with that stuff?
Oh, I'm just messing around. I figured we would finish up on the 380 that I'm loading. And basically, we go over some just some reloading topics for anyone getting started. Basically, tonight's just going to be an overview discussion of reloading topics in general. I'm going to be reloading some, like I said, some 380 ACP. Mm-hmm. And just a little quick chat or a little discussion topic on that. That cartridge was actually designed by John Moses Browning himself. So that's a little inside information for you. Yeah, I didn't know that either, but I was doing a little history review on it. And it was a cartridge that he designed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was thinking more of a modern cartridge.
No, this cartridge has been around since the 1900s. It's an old cartridge. The Germans used it and called it the 9mm Kurz, which in German Kurz stands for short. You know, you've got basically it's basically a shortened 9mm bullet is basically what it is, a shortened case with straight wall, except instead of a taper, slight taper.
Mm-hmm. I watch a lot of history, but I'm not familiar with never really studied the 3.8. The 380, I meant 3.8.
So what's been going on, AR? Have you been doing anything the last couple of days? I know you were messing around with your 3BR press from Reading.
No, not since last night's stream. I got over in the vise, stuck in. I got a taste of the 2x4 stuck in the vise grip, jaws. Just sitting there. I didn't want to lay it down on the bench so it'd get damaged or knocked off.
Yeah.
So I said, hey, this vise is a good thing to clamp it into, considering a stud is attached to it. In time, I'll get that tall stand and get the inline fab plate for it. So I'm sitting here trying to get my eyeglasses straight. You know how they get bent sometimes weird? You don't know why. So anyway, I'm trying to straighten them. The OCD in me.
Oh, I heard something moving around. I didn't know that you were straightening glasses. I heard something you were fidgeting with, like it sounded like you were trying to adjust something.
Yeah, I never dropped them or sat on them or anything, but for some reason they're off. But I've had them for 3 years.
Do you know if your head was recently swelling?
No, not recently.
So we can go ahead and check off swollen head syndrome.
Yep. Let's see what guys are saying. Looks like Echo got the lighting set up. Yeah, I can see over there too. Good. 67 Rebels here. Hey, Rebel. What's up, brother? Curtis. Did I call Curtis Long earlier? Seemed like he just
I'm
went to.
not. You
Yeah, I
maybe
think he.
have, but I might as well
Okay.
call him again just in case.
Yeah. What's up, Curtis? How you doing? It's supposed to be cool tonight. It still seems hot to me. Let's see. Forgot to bring my phone in here. Yeah, I'll go get it later.
All
So,
right, this is what I'm looking at. I'm over here trying not to make a mess and trying to measure some Hawtor. Got me some 3.3 of 231 in here.
y'all got any questions? Just ask. I'm the little midget over here.
The little midget. Yeah, we got him running around. That would be funny
The tall
if
midget.
if we could shrink you, like with software.
I feel shrunk sometimes sitting in this office chair.
I know you do. That's what you always tell me. That's why I'm like, we could make it for real. I'll get one of those computer guys to get me some of that software to make you about 2 foot tall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one of these days I'm gonna lower my reloading bench 3 inches.
Tomorrow you're doing that?
Nah, one of these days.
I thought you said tomorrow. I was like, damn, you're doing a lot of work tomorrow.
I got to cut the grass tomorrow. It's already getting too tall.
So what I've been doing on this pistol brass is I've been using a different type of. Let's try to show you guys what I'm doing here. Using a different type of chamfer on it. If you guys can see that, just a little tiny bit. It's not nearly as angled. This is more for a. I would guess like the flat shank without a boat tail on the back of a pistol cartridge, straight wall, you know, and basically that little bit of chamfer there is a lot less than like a VLD, something like this. We're using this.
I can't blow you up because I'm not the head moderator.
Yeah, hold on. I forgot. Just holler at me. Hey, blow yourself up. We're blowing people up now. All right. All right. That one right there. Let's see where we at. Up, down, left. Where are we at? You see it?
Yeah, I can.
See the difference in the angle of that chamfer tool?
Yeah, one's more 30 degrees, one's 45, or
no, one's more like 15 degrees.
Okay,
this one's like 30 degrees. So this is a VLD type of bullet. This one is used more for doing pistol cartridge cases and straight walled bullets.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just something for you guys to think about a little bit when you're going to go and load some brass.
Yeah, I recognize the VLD. I've never used the other one you got.
Yeah, well, it only makes sense if you're doing something with a bullet that doesn't require is not a really a long bullet, and it doesn't for shooting high BC and low drag. Those VLD bullets require a little bit more angle. But for these bullets we're loading like today, they don't require that. And as a matter of fact, that can actually impede their ability to center themselves in the cartridge as well as the other type of chamfer.
Alaska 1, Andy's in the house. Hey, good to see you.
Hey, brother, what's going on?
MK Joe, hey, buddy.
Let's make sure this has been flared. So if anybody has any questions on what I'm doing or anything, just feel free to ask. AR is going to read them out. We're trying to do something a little different in the chats. We're trying to cover some stuff, but we're also trying to be as meaningful and as aware of what's going on the side chat as well at the same time. But we just wanted to let you know from last week, we had a little bit of an issue with not being able to communicate with the side chat very well. So we're trying a little different.
That was last night, but that's because I was reloading.
Oh, the chat.
Yeah, well, I didn't. Yeah. But I still did. I just couldn't do it at the same time because I didn't have a laptop or a tablet right there next to the press. I tried my tablet today, and actually, it's a Samsung expensive tablet, and it's had glitches since it's been new. So I tossed it back in the box.
What, you've got a tablet you've never used?
I've used it some last year, year before last, year before that. About a $500 Samsung tablet, but it's just never. It was good for a while. And it just always seemed to have a glitch, even when it was new, a little bit compared to the phone. I don't have no trouble with Android phones, the new ones, but the Samsung tablet I did. It freezes, even though you check it. Device, hit the device that thing and scan it. It says everything's okay. It's not. I used to watch it back even when you were on High Boys channel. I used to use it a little bit way back then, and it would freeze up on me or wouldn't work occasionally. So let's see what I have. University countdown. Yeah, MacMan says get the iPad. It's the best. Yeah, I've heard it is. A little bit, lot less glitches. They have their software a little more refined here. My daughter's big into iPad and iPhone stuff. So what are you gonna do? You gonna dump powder, the whole works?
Yeah.
Tonight because of the whole process, or most of the process, I should say.
Yeah, most of it. Not a full, complete start to finish deal, so that we stay within YouTube's guidelines for sustaining their version of the First Amendment. Let me move this out of the way.
Yeah, hobbies. We talked about that lighting. We both need better video lighting in our reloading rooms.
Yeah, definitely do. It's hard to get anything really done when you're fighting with the lighting and everything. The bottom line is we've done a lot of we've done what we can right now to make everything as best we can with what we've spent. Just for, I plan on getting a 4K camera here in the next few months. But they're expensive, nothing's cheap in life.
What question, Michael, you want to ask of Echo?
What's Michael got a little question for us?
I don't know. He says he asked you a question, but I don't see it. So
okay.
I think maybe a typo. Who knows? I gotta wait and see what he says here.
All right. Throw some powder in this guy.
If we don't ask you questions right away, just restate your question in another post later. And we'll get to it. There's going to be times we may miss it. So, depending on how much fast you all type.
Yeah, some of you all can really type good. I mean, most of my associates, we struggle with like 10 words a minute.
Yeah, sure is, Andy. Copy and paste is your friend.
Copy and paste is your friend. That's funny. But
Yeah.
very true, very true. Let's see what we got here.
You asked about Mighty Armory dies. Well, I'd ask him to repeat the question.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
3-3.
Do you have what Mighty Armory dies do you have, Echo?
I've got the 223 Remington die, and I've got the 308 Winchester die. Those are the two that I have.
What do you think of them?
I think that they're very nice made dies. I think I messed up my 308 die, so I'm not getting the true. Basically, it got a little bit of rust in the neck of the die, and but before I had my cabinets that take out all the humidity, and because of that, it got a little bit of rust inside the die where the neck goes up in, and I sent it over there back to Mighty Armory, and they cleaned it up for free for me, but it's just not as true as it once was when I first got it. The die would throw a $1,000 after resizing a piece of brass, and I'd never had a die be that accurate before. And I think it's just because of the sturdiness that he puts in the decapping assembly. If you see how that stuff goes together, you're going to be impressed. You're going to be like, wow, that's solid as a rock.
Uncle Jim says, hey guys, sticking with 3.3. Yeah, 330. Yeah. The pea shooter.
You see him in the damn pea shooter. Everybody likes to make fun of the pea shooter guy.
Make sure you shoot them in the eye, in the forehead, or right at their heart.
Don't shoot them in the forehead. Chances are that thing ain't gonna stop.
Just having some fun with it around. Everybody likes to pick at the 380.
Yeah, you're like G-Web. G-Webs used to like to pick at the damn the 9mm cartridge. He's like, only little. What was he called? Because he calls it European. Because it's metric.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people with the metric things will make fun of it from America, because we always use American standard, and they use the metric system in Europe. So he's like, everybody tries to stay away from those metric bullets.
Mm-hmm. I remember decades ago when they tried to
move us all over. Everybody was like, forget you.
And then I forgot who it just kind of faded away.
Yeah, we were supposed to be completely over to the metric system by a certain year, and that year came and passed. And the bottom line was the reason why nobody went to that system. And it is a more accurate system because you get smaller fractions of measurement. So, and overall, you would think that, something that gives you a little bit more measurement. The problem is all the people in America have been using since the dawn of time American standard size bolts, tools, and there is a lot of damn money in tools. You know, at a shop, if you're a mechanic, for a mechanic to have $15,000-$20,000 worth of hand tools and and air tools to work on cars is actually about an average. So, a toolbox from Mac or Snap-on for, something that a mechanic can use, and Mac will verify this. So those boxes run sometimes $5,000-$6,000 for just the toolbox with no tools in them. So, I mean, when you start spending all that money on tools to switch over an entire country from one type of measurement to another, they never included all of the things for people that it was going to cost them so much as money. Now you have guys that work on European cars, like my uncle, and he's worked on American cars his whole life, and then European cars for the last 27 years. He had to buy both metric and American standard, which doubled his cost of working on vehicles and tools. You know what I'm saying? So when you start adding all that up, and when you figure a single socket for certain things can be like $40 for a socket. So you think about that when you add up all that stuff, and it starts getting very expensive very quickly.
I was working on cars in '79 when a lot of that stuff started kicking in. Even my car now, some of it's metric and some of it's not.
Yeah.
So it's still a pain to, what.
Yeah, the metric system. The problem with it is, it just costs too much money to switch over. And people, you got to think, the car manufacturers, I mean, for them to switch over to metric bolts, that was a big deal. If you do a little bit of history, you'll find out that Harley Davidson, was it? No, it wasn't Harley Davidson. It was who was it? Trying to remember. I watched a big old documentary they were trying to make, it was on a company that made motorcycles. I wanted to say it was Harley. But basically what happened was they got a contract back in like the 20s, 30s to do motorcycles for the police department. But the order came in that all the bolts had to be metric, because that was back when they started talking about switching over to the metric system. And they were saying, okay, everybody's going to be metric, but it costs these small little shops, more money than they had to switch over to that stuff. And they were trying to use it as a way for another company to buy Harley Davidson and build motorcycles. And I can't remember the name of the company. I may have just totally screwed it up, but I think it was Harley that ended up. And what Harley did was they were smart. They canceled the motorcycle because obviously nobody wanted to spend all that money on retooling their entire factory to do metric. So basically Harley kept the drawings for the motorcycle and basically used it in a later design, and for I think it was the Ford guy. I think it was a guy who I think it was Mr. Ford that tried to acquire Harley Davidson by some kind of shady practices. They made it seem like, whether or not that really happened exactly like that, I don't know, but they made it seem like Harley was trying to be taken over by Ford Motor Corp, but back then it was just Henry Ford.
Yeah, and we all have different tools now, metric and standard.
Now we all have to have.
Andre wants to know if you're going to the Tampa Gun Show. Probably not, but I'll let him answer it for you.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to go, Andre, because right now I'm trying to get some medical issues taken care of before I can even get the inoculation, and I'm not going into a big pavilion underneath an aluminum roof with all kinds of people, hundreds of people. I can't take that kind of risk.
Hey Drew, he's got a good statement. Jeep pulled a stunt in the '90s. One side left and right side was metric, and the other side was imperial. Down the middle. That's a great wild. Never heard of that one. MacMan said he sold 20,000 in two boxes. 20K. Well, that's a lot of tools.
Yeah, but it's a lot of money in tools. It's not a lot of tools.
No.
The cost to do business if you're a mechanic is absolutely astronomical. Especially today, where everything is electronic, and you've got machines that read everything that the car is like. Okay, my uncle right now can take a newer Mercedes or BMW, plug it into this computer. He can roll the windows up, roll the windows down, start the car, turn off the car, access any of the electronic features, check everything, and it monitors the amount of current that it's drawing, why it's doing that particular feature, how long the current stays on, so you can tell if the item has got a penal drain to it and it's bleeding off electricity, where before you would have to test individual parts. Now
what drain did you say?
What
drain did you say?
Drain?
Yeah, you said something about a drain on it. Never mind. Go ahead. We'll just pass it.
I have no idea what you're talking about. A drain.
Okay. You've got a package come here. Oh, that's my. Oh, I got my Amazon package. Couldn't figure out what it was. I thought you said a penal drain.
Yeah, that's what it's called. Okay. That's what it's called. It's a small drain on the electronic system. Over time, just one circuit staying open on an electrical circuitry will cause it to drain the system of voltage, and over several hours and days, it can cause it to completely kill your battery, where you go out. And it's one of those things that if you drive the car every day, sometimes it won't do it. It's one of those.
Yeah, I got a drain on my sports car. We used to test for drains all the time. Sometimes it'd be electric seat. Sometimes it'd be a bad motor, a bad switch. A lot of things.
Yeah, it could be
Yeah. CW's got a question. What primers and bullets you using, Echo?
Okay, brother. Good question. The bullets I got at a local little gun shop here. So they're manufactured somewhere here in the States. My guess would be probably they either look like a Hornady bullet, but they're packaged like maybe possibly an Everglades ammunition. So we have a manufacturer right here in Florida that makes bullets jacketed. Basically, it's just a round nose, 100 grain, full metal jacket, copper coated lead bullet. And I'm pushing it around 850 feet per second out of a 3-inch, about a 3 1/4 or something like that, 3 1/4 inch barreled gun. And brass, I'm using Starline. And primers, I'm using these CCI 500 OEM primers. Those guys right there. And powder, I'm using the Winchester 231.
What's up, Jason? How you doing today? You just dropped in a few minutes ago.
Jason Stewart or Pollard?
Stewart.
Oh, okay. Is James Pollard here? That's who I was asking about.
If I called him, he is. I don't remember now.
I think you did. I'm trying to remember.
Let's scroll up and see. Yeah, he was here earlier. Yeah.
Okay. I've been watching a lot of videos about guys using the Lee turret press lately. And I'm just, kind of getting an overview of what everybody's saying and, seems to be saying about the press over the years and stuff. And I've gotten some pretty good reviews on it. Very few that were negative. And even some of those were you were noticing possibly that the guy didn't know exactly what he was talking about. Maybe he didn't have as much knowledge on how to use the press as he should have, and making rash judgments too quickly. But I think we're all guilty of that at one time in our life or not. So bottom line is everybody seemed to like it and seems to be liking it. So that's why I'm just always if I use the product and I have good results with it, I like to share that with people. And a lot of people see that as kind of shilling or whatever, but I don't care. I want you to have a piece of equipment that works and does not give you problems, because no new reloader wants to go through problems. Because you're just learning. If your press is doing something screwy, you're not going to know it is. And, then you're going to it may turn you off to reloading, and you may never get into the sport just because of that. So I'm trying to just let people know, hey, this is what I use. This is why I use it. I don't get money from anybody. Nobody pays me to do jack shit. I do this out of the kindness of my heart because I like entertaining people and teaching people. That's the only reason I have behind my channel.
What's up to Uncle Jim?
Yeah, because the sport of reloading and the hobby of reloading is one that is going, bye-bye. People aren't teaching the new generation. And for years, I realized that the reloading hobby was very much a part of gun, and Second Amendment and gun collecting and being part of the Second Amendment. It all has to do with the ammunition. If you don't have ammunition, guns are just a damn wood or plastic with a little bit of steel.
Yeah. Got DM Foss. Is it Foss?
Oh, yeah. Foss is here.
Hey. How you doing, bro?
What's going on, Foss? Just turning out some 380 here, brother.
I've now loaded a couple of 100 rounds of 45 and 380 CWSS. It's easy to set up and working well. I have the economy version now. Cool.
CW is over here hanging out with us tonight.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Good for him. It's good to see some people stopping by and saying hello. The only thing is that I probably should have done when I was up there getting this stuff, because I bought this stuff as just a future project to do for the channel, and because I didn't have a whole lot of 380 plinking ammo. And when I was in there, the fellow that I was dealing with, he's a small, one single guy kind of deal selling reloading gear. So his prices were a little bit higher than, I was used to paying online. But, once again, it brings us back to the thing is your local gun shops, your local reloading shops. And the guy was very knowledgeable and had a lot of gear in there, so I didn't mind paying a little bit extra. It just, I should have got some more primers, but the thing was, this happened before the whole shenanigans. So I was like, let me see if this is.
Hey, CW, if you're going to be over at Georgia Shooting Connection, I'm going to have company, so I may not be able to make it. Thought I'd let him know. Well, you can tell Jamie. My daughter's supposed to come here. I should have texted
Oh,
her.
yeah. She's supposed to be over there tonight to help you out.
Yeah. Yep.
Try to fix your old Bacchus. Jesus.
She's pretty good at it, too, sometimes. I taught her how to do it. I told a chiropractor a few weeks ago what I taught her, and he made a face like, oh, my goodness, like it's so horrible. I said, no, it works. She actually does help me. And that's more than he did. So
he don't like that competition.
Yeah, he didn't do nothing, unfortunately.
Sometimes chiropractors could be two of the same stone. You can get a good one, and they could be a lifesaver. Or you can get a half-ass one that does nothing, or you get a really bad one that hurts you. And once you've been hurt by one, you don't ever go back to them again. You're just like, you're done with that type of doctoring. You're like, yep, had enough.
I used to go to a DO, that's doctor of osteopathic. Very few of those adjust anymore, though. It's becoming a lost art in the community because DOs realize, hey, we don't have to work hard anymore. We'll just write prescriptions and be surgeons and do this. So I was actually going to the college that was for COVID, and one doctor retired, and actually two are retiring. So they're gone. They'll at least be gone soon. So went there about 6 years. 7 years.
So what are you doing on your what do you got next, AR, that you're doing on your bench for the primers and all that? What exactly are you trying to get?
Next month I'm probably going to order a primer system, either RCBS or Lee. I hadn't decided
whichever
yet.
one you're going to get.
Yeah. I like the Lee, but the thing I don't like about the RCBS is a long primer tube, but that would be okay, I guess. Yeah, at least I put 100 in and I don't have to worry about it for a little while. So. But
they're both good units. I mean, some people don't like the one, some people don't like the other. It's just a question of what you're gonna like.
Yeah,
I think they both work decent enough. I mean, if you want the ultimate in priming system, you're gonna have to pay the ultimate in primer system money. They make one that is adjustable, that is a bench primer, and I cannot remember who makes it, but it's $600. That's how I knew how much that that's as far as I got. Was the price tag, because I was like $600. That's way too much. I'm like, I'll buy regular ammunition before I buy a $600 priming unit. But some people think that that sitting your primers at a certain depth is beneficial to accuracy. I have found that as long as you have a good primer pocket that is fitting tight around the primer, and if you want, use a primer pocket uniformer to hit any of the high spots and knock them down so you get smoother priming. That helps out immensely, especially if you're not getting the depth out of the pocket that you need, and it's brand new brass. Sometimes uniforming the primer pocket will give you we'll go ahead and give you that.
Crazy dog.
He's all right.
I think that dog knows when I'm in here talking.
Yeah, he can hear. He probably can hear you. He's probably like,
Yeah.
Dad's in there talking, and I want to be in there with him talking.
Yeah, Uncle Jim, there are some good chiropractors out there. I went to one from 1970, 74 to 74, 75 to 1994. He retired. He was the best chiropractor I ever seen. He knew every technique you could think of. These days, if I ask a chiropractor about a technique, some of them have heard of it, some hadn't heard of it. And I go, wow, these guys don't know nothing compared to the old guys. And they teach it more of a business now, these chiropractic schools, instead of being there to help people medically. They want to sell you packages. Oh, you come to me, 20 times, we'll sell it to you for $800, or you get 20 visits for 800, whatever.
Yeah, not interested in that.
My chiropractor I went to seen me for 20 something, all those years, man, for $15. It never went up. Mm-hmm. He said he'd seen me since I was young. He gave me the geriatric rate even when I was young, in my 20s and 30s. He used to tell everybody there in the office, he said, I've been seeing Elliot since he was a little boy. I thought the little boy, I didn't think of myself as a little boy. He's 19, but apparently he did. He was a good guy. Yeah, he's probably long past now, because he retired at 60, probably 63 or 65 in 94. So. But he was absolutely the most skilled I've ever seen. And I've only ran into two of them like that. So what you going now, Echo?
I'm just throwing some powder. I was going to tell Uncle Jim, too, that I told him in one of the comments, but it was after we were already having comments. He was asking or talking about, I brought up that you can reload for 7.62 by 39 or 7.62 by 54R. But there is a difference. The bullets are bigger in diameter. A 308 Winchester bullet is what 30 caliber in the U.S. is. But in Russia, their 30 caliber cartridge can run anywhere from like a 309, 310, 311, even a 312. So I found out that Sierra Bullet Manufacturing actually makes some 311 Sierra Match Kings. So something just to check out if you're reloading for one of those Russian cartridges, the 7.62 by 39 or the 7.62 by 54 rimmed. You might want to check into the actual bullet diameters that the Ruskies use, and some of the American companies do make bullets to shoot in those rifles. And I was unaware of it. I just learned of it secondhand from another person telling me about it. So I thought I'd just pass it along.
Mm-hmm. May have to go get that dog here shortly if you don't stop. Put him in the doghouse in the house where the air is running.
Yeah, I thought for sure you would have had the puppy palace with the AC out there pumped into it.
Last night I put him in there, but I forgot. I ran late getting to fire this PC up this evening for the stream, so I didn't get a chance to put him in there. And
here I go again, chasing down.
Echo slept late.
Yeah, I took a nap. You know what? I don't care what anybody says. Naps when you're over 50 are good. I don't care.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tightening this up.
You ever go to take a nap during the day and wake up and think it's the next morning?
Oh,
you
yeah.
have to walk actually, but look outside to see if you figure out what day it is.
Well, have you ever messed up so bad that you go and look and you're like, you can't tell if it's morning or real early in the morning or late at night? You're like, what in the hell? You start noticing things, and then people. This one, this bullet right here, I just 2,000 too far over, so I'm gonna back her in here and just push her. I already crimped her, but we'll just push her down and recrimp over it.
Hey, Walter. Walter Bunnings here. Hey,
oh,
good
Walter's
to see you.
here. What's going on, Walter?
You still on your trip, Walter, or are you back home? Back home now. Okay.
Oh.
That looked like a fun trip. I used to have motorcycles back in the late 70s, early 80s. I wanted to take trips like that. Unfortunately, I got in a wreck and finally ended up selling it. Got rid of them. Of course, I'd had probably 4 motorcycles over a short period. Ever since I was a kid, I loved them. Chiropractors don't. Well, they like them because they make some money, but they say, oh, them things are rough. I said, oh, yeah.
Trying for 0.980.
He went 3,300 miles.
That's too many miles for my old butt. It is. I couldn't do it. That makes my ass hurt just thinking about it. That is, I got to give it to you, Walter. Okay, Elliot, you got to start juggling tennis balls on a bench stool while roller skating in your shop.
Walter says you need a better seat.
Walter says I know everybody makes fun of ARs because he's sinking in a hole.
No, he said you need a seat, better seat.
Oh, I do. Oh, yeah. Then the what I was talking about.
Yeah, my chair is an office chair. My bench is real high, so it makes me look a little strange on the camera sometimes.
You know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send you one of those seats, but I'm gonna have the guys cut off like 4 inches off the legs. So basically, all you see is your head above your desk. That's it. Just the head, just Elliot's head above the desk. And when he reloads, he looks like a little midget. I'll be like, it's Midget Man.
Hippa's with us. Hey, Hippa. What's up?
I got a whole thing. See, Elliot, or AR, what we can do is we can do a whole voodoo thing. We could have the little shrunken heads in the background and everything. And you could, I'm telling you, man, we could do a whole thing of your whole channel. You could be voodoo, the voodoo bullet god. You could go in there dancing in front of the camera, throwing spells and stuff. I think it'd be a great thing. It'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
You know it would. If I saw a grown man dancing around in a voodoo outfit, reloading ammunition and throwing chicken bones. You know how, remember Madame Cleo? We're gonna see what the bones say. And we throw the bones into the thing.
Yeah.
You never heard of Madame Cleo?
I don't remember her name, but I know I've heard about the bones. She
made some millions, I'm telling you.
That dog won't shut up.
Listen to you.
Crazy dog. I don't know why he don't bark. He hasn't barked. I think he does hear me talking in this room to this window.
Yeah, but the weird thing about that is, we were talking earlier, and I don't think he was barking.
No, but once he gets on the end of that certain area of this backyard, I think he hears me after a while.
Who we got out in the chat?
Same old, same old.
Oh, same old. Listen to him.
Same usual suspect.
I am going to go over here.
I think I said hello to Hobby's Hobo earlier. I have to look back at the chat to see when he came in. Reloader 762 is here.
Hey, Reloader 762, what is going on, brother?
So are we talking about Russian calibers, .311 or .312?
Yes, I was doing a little bit of Russian.
Does anyone think the 32 ACP is now a dead round? I think it should be. I can't find raw building parts and other tools. Hornady shell plate. Yeah, you don't see that caliber out of much. Last time I seen one was 1980s. My aunt had one pistol, and I looked at it and I said, "That's a joke."
Well, they've got that new one that Ruger's doing.
I heard about that one.
Yeah.
My aunt had this old cheap pistol though, really cheap, ugly, horrible looking pistol, revolver. I don't even know who made it. I can't think back then who made it. But it's what my father used to call an owl head. Owl head means an old generic. Back in my father's day, they only had two guns in America. That was Smith and Colt. And everything else he referred to as owl heads. Generic. Foreign guns. That's what he meant. He'd be surprised now, though, wouldn't he? Jeez,
yeah. Everybody's made their stake.
Yeah, in Georgia, they do throw chicken wings out of trucks, JH. They throw them in my front yard sometimes. Years. Almost caused my dog to get.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of that before. I've heard of dogs getting chicken bones stuck in their throat before from people throwing them in their yard.
Guess what? My dog, I think, died from a chicken bone. But a few months ago, I had a cage out here, and I got a possum, and I had a chicken bone in there. And guess what? The chicken bone killed the possum. Possum ate the chicken bone. Yeah, and the possum died quickly. It chewed him up inside. That surprised me. So then I figured out why my dog definitely, probably had issues with him. But occasionally I'd walk my dog up down the street, and he would try to pick up, a chicken bone here in the grass, and I'd hear it crunch, and a lot of times I'd rip it out of his mouth. But apparently I didn't one day, and it got in there and ended up taking him down. Fortunately, it was already when his muscles were weak, so he was getting muscle atrophy. Yeah, very weak. So he was. I used to walk him about 8-10 times a day up big giant hills over here in my neighborhood to keep him, trying to keep him alive longer. Yeah, they can eat raw bone, not cooked bones, Drew. That's what I've heard. I think he got a hold maybe some chicken wings or drumstick. And I actually know what house he got a hold of at near a garbage can the day it happened. And it was just a few days later, he come to me and laid his head in my hand sick. I could tell because he came and just plopped his chin right down in my hand. I knew he was not feeling good.
So, what are so you're going to order a primer thing so you can actually start loading some ammo? What have you been working on, that 5.56 that you had?
Yeah, and I want to do some 9, but I got need a primer for it too. I've got it. Well, I need to get a carbide die and maybe a Lee factory print die for the 9. So, and then I'll be able to load the 9. So I got 2 rounds I'm going to be loading here soon. And I may end up getting a bullet sizer, a Lee bullet, 356 sizer, because they're cheap. I think 20 something bucks, if I remember, maybe cheaper. Get one of those. And I've got 200, almost 200 rounds of 9 XTP, 115 grain. Cat scack up rat bones, no problem. Yeah, they do turn to splinters, Drew. Bones do.
Now we've gone from reloading to talk about chicken bones stuck in dogs' throats. What the hell?
Hey, these guys are talking. We're talking. They're typing. I'm reading what they're saying. Got to go with the people.
Well, you brought up the story.
No, I'm actually brought it up because of just things coming up here.
He's got chicken bones on his mind.
I didn't bring up chicken bones. I forget who did.
I tell you what not to do is take a bite out of a piece of fish that's got a lemon on the bottom side of it. That can be a little bit, you bite into that rind and you're like, oh Lord, there's something really sour on the bottom of this chicken. I mean, fish. I'm having a little snack.
Let's see. Reloader 762 says he reloads 9x18 762 by 39 54 R for the better part of 12 years. Some jacketed, but mainly cast lead. My brother does 762 by 25. And Will makes his own brass. Makes his own brass for once fired 2-3 as well. Makes his own brass. Huh. How does he do that? A copper pipe? Uncle Jim casted up a bunch of 380, he says, talking to Walter.
Oh.
Last night.
That's awesome. Those little bullets he does are pretty damn cool. Those little hollow points and the little, I like those powder coated bullets. I think they look cool.
Yeah. I like the really green ones, emerald green.
Okay.
They look cool.
Yeah, any of those fancy dancy green, I like those too. I think those are a neat color combination. Okay.
Any questions coming in on the side tonight, this evening?
What? Not a lot of what?
Not a lot of questions coming.
Okay. Probably because people reload a lot of 380 and they don't have a lot of questions about it. That's what I was afraid with this caliber. Yep. I'm gonna come and get you, dog. Daddy's coming for you.
I can deal with it. I just don't like everybody having to hear it in the side chat.
That ain't bad. AR's dog. That's what everybody's gonna call that. The dog.
I'd rather hear frogs croaking than dogs barking. They're more pleasant. Make you sleepy. I don't like dogs barking personally. I used to open my door and get onto my dog barking years ago.
A Reloader 762. Who other besides Hornady makes 311 diameter bullets? I mean, not Hornady. Sierra. I know Sierra does, but and I know Hornady makes 762 by 39 brass. I'm not sure. I don't see why Starline wouldn't. But as far as I know, no one is making 5.45 by 39 brass. So I'm guessing that people are maybe necking down 7.62. I'm not sure. I'm not a big. I've got an AK. I've got an Romanian. What is that thing? It's an expensive one. It's it's a SAR, SAR-1 from the 90s, back when the Clinton administration was in office. I bought that one. And
we got a gun show coming here on the 3rd and 5th. Eastman. They're pretty good in the South. Eastman is one of the largest. I don't know if it's going to get canceled. I just know the billboard says it's coming.
Yeah, they've pretty much been canceling a lot of them lately because of the corona and the new Delta variant. So what do you think? Are you going to go to this show? Or are you going to try to get up there and see what's going on?
I'm not going to mix with that larger crowd right now.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Not with a Delta out there. No, I'll stay safe.
I thought you would be out there running. Driving with the Corvette, high speed.
What if it was running?
Yeah, he's like, but I wouldn't have anyone sitting next to me. I would just be driving by myself. He's got a shirt he puts over, extra large shirt he puts over the side passenger, and it says Delta variant on it. I'm like riding with Delta.
I think I'm gonna just save money for the next 12 months, and then maybe next summer have it running by next summer for sure. Actually, for spring maybe into winter. I mean, I could get it repaired now with the old plastic, but I'm not gonna do it. Part of me wants to do it too. So. James Pollard's had a Bursa 380 for 20 years.
Yeah, the old Bursa, boy. I tell you what, that's like those are like a cult following. They've got their own group of people that follow that manufacturer and that caliber with that manufacturer. If you have an original Bursa, they can actually bring a little chunk of change now. And I've never really, they've always been a little bit of the kind of like a lower end pistol or a less expensive pistol, not necessarily lower end, because the ones I've seen, rather than some machining marks and stuff like that, they've been pretty strict, pretty squared away. They run good, I've never had many of them come back to me with failures, needing like extractors or ejectors or chambers polished or anything crazy like that in them. So they pretty much run and do what they're supposed to do.
And I'd like to buy that doggone Savage ultralight up there in Athens. I'm not going to buy it. I'm a little more, after, doing what I did the past few years, I'm a little more cautious now what I just run out and buy.
So what you're telling me is you're gonna run out and start buying all kinds of things?
Nope. I did there for years. A bunch of rifles, precision rifle, lever action, a whole bunch of them. Quite a few handguns, and the reloading gear. And then I finally just slowed down. Realized I can't keep spending. As I've aged 3 or 4 more years in my life, I've kind of realized, nope, quit spending so much.
Yeah, there's one thing I always tell people, though. Save enough money so that you don't have to worry about, next month and stuff. But there's one thing I've never seen, and that's a Wells Fargo cash truck following a Hearst. You know, so you ain't taking that shit with you. And like, if you don't have kids, like I don't, best is just to live your life. Try to have as much enjoyment as possible without, ruining yourself. Just everything in little bits. But I don't know. I just believe in, if you're going to do something, do it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people sit and talk about things. I think if more people would do things instead of just talk about them, that we'd be better off as a whole.
HIPAA. Moderation in all things, including moderation. Yep. I agree, HIPAA. My problem is I've had it tend to have expensive tastes over the years. That just gets me in trouble. Wanting the best of everything.
We told him years ago that the Chevette was a high output car, and that he didn't need the big Corvette. He could have gone with the Chevette. Yeah. And the ladies love it. The ladies love the Chevettes. I had a couple of them. They were babe magnets. Let me tell you, those 4 doors with the hatchback and the white color scheme with the mag rims, the steel mag rims, 14 inches. Beautiful car. Beautiful car. Throttle body injection, 4-cylinder that would only start on Wednesdays.
You never see Chevettes around anywhere. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, you know why? They stopped running in 86. They were made in 84. They stopped in 86.
Yep.
I towed more of those cars in like a year than anything else, but never towed another one again. It was like they just were sucked into a huge epitome of abyss. And what happened was they had a Chevrolet was experimenting with small production cars to compete with Japan in the mid 80s, because Honda in 84 released their Accord LX in 84, and it sold for $8,000 or $9,000. My mom bought one, and it was fully loaded LX Honda Accord for less than $10,000, and people were like, "Holy crap!" She drove that car until she passed away, and I had it another 10 years after that. Let my girlfriends at the time drive them, and that thing, you could not kill it. You just couldn't. It didn't even have an oil filter. When you change the oil on it, you just drain the oil and put fresh back in it, 30 weight, and it had no filter system. Before filters.
Michael wants to know, you going to come back on after the Georgia shooting connection? Echo?
Yeah, I was thinking about maybe doing something like that, and maybe having some guests on. What time is it getting to be, AR?
7:17.
Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I don't know 100% yet, Michael. Tonight was kind of just like a little bit of a sparse, where I was just trying to hit back on this topic of 380. I had a couple of things happen to me with it. I was measuring charges, and my scale was messing up a little bit. And so I went back and I weighed all the bullets and cartridges. And I had some big ones of discrepancy. So I took those bullets apart, and it was just weight differences in the actual the bullet and the casing and primer. Threw it off by, almost 0.5 of a grain.
Walter says, I had a Corvair. I had two Corvairs, Walter. And
that's a quality car right there, too, the old Corvairs.
And he says now they were babe magnets.
Oh, yeah. Well, hey, now answer me this.
Had a convertible and a standard.
Yeah. Now, yes, the Corvair, didn't that have the push-button transmission on it, where you could go to drive, to park, to reverse with the buttons?
I don't even remember. It's been so
I think
long.
it did. I think it did. I remember towing one of those cars going, how in the hell do you put this thing in neutral? And I was like, and it was Corvair. I was like, oh, you got to push the button. And I was like, the button? I'm looking down at there's no selector. There's just buttons on top of the where the transmission shifter select knob should be.
Mm-hmm. He says, no, not the Corvair.
Which one was that? Which car was that? They made a convertible that it
yeah, mine was 3-speed, Walter, actually, now I think of it.
On the stick, one of the 3 speeds on the stick. On the steering column.
No, mine was in the floor, if I remember right.
Oh, it was. It wasn't 3 on the tree.
I don't think so. I could be wrong. It's been a long time. Seemed like it was on the floor. Well, we're getting thunder here. It's coming to storm.
Yeah, we're getting here all day.
That's another reason my dog, if a storm's coming, he wants to get out of the rain. He's got where he knows to come in when the rain hits. And he's quiet now. Dodge. Yeah, he says, Uncle John says, I remember police button being on a Dodge. Yeah, I can't remember what Dodge, but it seemed like I remembered that.
Yeah, I remember some weird named car, and I thought Corvair was the car, but I might be mistaken. I remember they made a convertible, and they look like they're an older school looking car. It looked like a 1950s car in the late 80s, early 90s. I can't remember the name of them, but I remember they had tail lights, 2 of them that were round on the back, and they had like little middle posts that come out. I can't remember what the hell kind of car that was for the life of me. It's gonna kill me, drive me nuts all night. I'll be calling AR at 4 o'clock in the morning. I remember the car name.
I had a 60, I think it was 60 Chevrolet with a wingspan. I had a 2 Corvairs. I had what else? Some Dusters, Plymouth Dusters with slant 6s. Several of those in the early 80s. I had an 84 Firebird in 1990, black Firebird like Kit. And then I bought a Corvette in the mid 90s, and then I got a Corvette, went straight back to a Firebird and hated it. I could not I had T-tops. I would not even ride around with the T-tops off. I just thought, this is a big downgrade, buddy. I mean, if I'd been young and had that car, I would have been happy, but going from a real sports car to a Firebird, that's downgrading in my mind. But, I think I took the tops off one day, and that was it. So.
Well, the problem with those tops, those T-tops, were they were ridiculously heavy, and there was nowhere to put them. Even the Camaro, they had this little idiot spot that you're supposed to put them inside these little padded bags and slide them down, and they were right where, if you got rear-ended, that it would shatter both of them. Because it was down right in front of the bumper.
Yes, Walter, Rambler. I had Ramblers too, Walter. I had 2 of them. My aunt owned a new one. Yeah, I remember that. I think it's push buttons. Yeah. Yeah, well, you think those are hard, heavy. You ought to try a target top on my car. You got to literally be big like me, and you got to reach over, you undo it, you take your left hand, right hand, raise it up, and you got to hold that big joker, and you got to slam it into the back of the glass, hatchback, and it's big. They were going to try to originally make the C4 in a Corvette and a T-top, and they wound up designing it into a complete target top where the whole top came off. So. G Webs is here, I think. Yeah. 24th thumb. Appreciate the thumbs up, guys. Yeah, it's weird. Push button transmission. What you doing, Echo? I can't remember, 1973, I had a Rambler, had an automatic Rambler with an AC. I took the AC out, cut the belt so it would have more horsepower so I could use more cane and go faster. Go figure, I was young. My aunt used to buy brand new Ramblers, and the Ramblers, they were basic, come with no radio, most of them. The one I had used, it was a nice. It had AC, radio, and everything years later. But my aunt bought one without a radio. And the heck, even in 1988, I worked at Camp Chevrolet on Beaver Highway in Georgia. A lot of cars didn't even come with radios or AC. You had to have them put in there. That's how far back we were, even in that day and age.
Yeah, let's start winding it down, AR.
Okay.
I want to, if I come back on, I'll come back on later and do it when I've got a little bit more preparedness. I finished up all this 380 that I was doing. I just have another 50 cartridges that I was going to do, but I really, before I started loading those, I wanted to shoot these because I don't want to pull 100 bullets if I don't have to. But yeah, I appreciate everyone coming out tonight and participating. And let's see here. Uncle Jim, Michael, Reloader 762, all you guys that came out, I appreciate it very much. HIPAA, nice to see you again, brother. 67 Rebel. Gun Websites gave us a thumb. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. James Pollard. Michael Hartneck. Sorry, it's my brain and my eye. But yeah, I just wanted to tell everybody thank you for coming. I didn't get a chance to say hello to everyone because I was busy on the reloading press. So I wanted to go ahead and touch base with everybody. Uncle John, I see, was up there. See who popped in at the bottom real quick. Michael Herdneck. I appreciate it. I'm going to try to get one going later, but I don't know yet. AR, is anything you want to wrap up, brother, with?
No, I just appreciate you inviting me on to help you host this thing. And
well, yeah, man.
I enjoy it as always, and I appreciate you guys turning out. And y'all have a good one. Catch you on the flip side.
Yeah, you all take care. Have a nice evening, and I may come back later. I may not, but I'll keep you guys informed. Thanks for everybody.